If you're a founder or any kind of creator, you know that feeling. You've got that one big idea you just know could change everything. But here's the thing, an idea is only as strong as your ability to protect it. So today, we're going to build your defense strategy. This is your guide to intellectual property.
So, let me ask you, you have that idea, right? The one that keeps you up at night, the one you can't stop sketching on napkins or whiteboards. Yeah, that one. The one that could be your legacy.
I bet you do. But here's a little dose of reality. You're not the only one. The world is absolutely brimming with brilliant ideas. You know the real difference between just a cool thought and a business that lasts? It often boils down to one critical and way too often overlooked step: protection.
So many ventures trip up right out of the gate, making one of these classic IP mistakes. See, it's not just about having the idea, it's about knowing what it's worth, legally locking it down, and weaving that protection right into your business plan from day one. Skipping these steps, that can be a fatal mistake.
And that brings us to what I call the big idea problem. It's that huge gap between having an amazing concept and actually building a business around it that someone else can't just come and copy. To close that gap, you first have to understand exactly what it is you're trying to protect. So, what even is intellectual property, or IP? Well, it's not the physical stuff, your laptops or the office furniture. It's the intangible things, the stuff that comes from your team's imagination and hard work. In our economy, this is hands down a company's most valuable and most vulnerable asset. Okay, so we've laid out the problem. Let's get to the solutions. And I want you to stop thinking of IP as some boring legal headache. Instead, think of it as an awesome set of tools you can use to build a fortress around your business, a fortress that gives you the breathing room to grow and innovate. And these are the 4 essential tools in that IP toolkit. We're going to call it the Founder's Shields. You've got patents, trademarks, copyrights, and trade secrets. Each one protects a totally different part of your business. And the smartest founders, well, they know how to layer them all together for some serious defense. All right, let's start with the big 3, the ones you'll probably hear about the most. We're going to dive into what they are, what they protect, and most importantly, how you can use them to your advantage. First up, patents. Now, here's the part everyone gets wrong. A patent doesn't actually give you the right to make your thing. What it does is give you the legal muscle to stop everyone else from making, using, or selling it. It's like a temporary monopoly, a super powerful tool that can let you own a market. But, and this is a big but, that kind of power takes time and money. Getting a patent isn't something you do on a whim. We're talking an average of over 2 years just for approval in the US. This is a serious, long-term investment in a core piece of your technology. And hey, not every idea can get a patent. Your invention has to clear 3 pretty high bars. First, it's got to be useful. It has to actually do something. Second, it must be novel, like genuinely new. And third, it has to be not obvious, which basically means it can't just be the next logical step that anyone in your field would have thought of. So the road to getting that patent, it's a formal journey with a lot of steps. It's tough. You're searching old patents, you're filing super detailed applications, and you're dealing with the patent office. And hey, notice step number 3 there? Hire an attorney. Trust me, for something this complicated, you absolutely want a pro in your corner. Okay, next tool, trademarks. So if patents protect what you make, trademarks protect your brand. It's your company's signature, its reputation. It's the little signal that tells your customers, hey, this is us. It's how you build trust and stand out from the crowd. And it is so much more than just your name or your logo. That MGM Lion Roar, that's a trademarked sound. The specific shade of Tiffany blue, a trademark. You can even trademark the entire look and feel of a store. They call that trade dress. It's all about owning the unique ways that people recognize you. Now, if getting a patent is a marathon, getting a trademark is more like a sprint. You pick a mark that stands out, you do a deep search to make sure no one else is using it, and then you start using it to build your rights. You can do that just by being in business, but registering it officially gives you way stronger protection across the country. All right, tool number 3 is copyright. This one protects creative expression. We're talking books, music, art, and this is a big one for tech founders, software code. The cool thing is the moment you create something original and put it in a tangible form, like even just saving a Word doc, boom, you technically have copyright protection. Now, this brings us to a super important legal concept. You can't copyright the idea of, say, a vampire love story, but you can copyright the specific book you write about it. The same goes for tech. You can't copyright the idea for a photo sharing app, but you absolutely can copyright the millions of lines of code you wrote to build it. It protects your execution, not your concept. Okay, we've covered the protections that you go out and register with the government. Now let's talk about this super valuable stuff you protect by keeping it a secret. And then we'll wrap up with how you put this all together in an action plan. Welcome to the world of trade secrets. This is your secret sauce. You know, the Coca-Cola formula, the Google search algorithm, maybe your company's unique sales process. A trade secret is any piece of info that gives you an edge because your competitors don't have it. But hold on, it's not enough to just call something a secret and hope for the best. The law is actually really specific about this. So what's the test? What actually qualifies for real legal trade secret protection? Your info has to pass this tough 6-point test. And notice something here. A lot of it is about how you treat the information. You have to actively protect it with NDAs, limited access, security measures. You have to act like it's a secret. The amazing thing is, unlike a patent that expires, a trade secret can last forever, but only if you can keep it a secret. Okay, you have the tools. You understand the pieces of the shield. Now it is time to actually put it into practice. And the best way to get started is to stop just learning about it and start doing it by conducting your own IP audit. And look, this doesn't have to be some big, scary project. You can start with a simple 2-step process. First, just make a list of all the IP you already have. Your brand name, your logo, your website code, everything. Second, look at what's coming next. What are you building right now, and what steps are you taking to protect it as you go? So there you have it, the 4 essential tools you need to protect that big idea. You now have the blueprint for your own Founder's Shield. So the only question left is, are you ready to build it and defend the future you're creating?